Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, run it back. Run it up, then run it back.
Oh, hey, everybody. Happy Monday. And I'm sorry, I forgot. Wait, what are you doing? You can't. We're back in the studio, and it means we're going to be more professional, you would think.
Yeah, right.
But here we are. Lou, Will, Chandler, P, me, myself. Lou, you're not wearing a dark color on top. That means you're not paying attention.
I thought we would start the week light.
That's not a thing we've ever discussed.
You just made that up.
Black is a uniform.
Guys, the league is leaguing, and the Knicks are where we're starting because things are not great in the state of New York. Here we go. 8 of their last 10 have been losses. The recent home loss to the Suns on Saturday. Jalen Brunson's been out of the lineup last 2 games, did injure his ankle against the Kings, but that really is just the tip of the iceberg. Why don't we take a look at some of their rankings in the Eastern Conference this month so far? Worst record, worst defensive rating, worst true shooting percentage, second worst net rating, third worst assists to ratio, and third worst pace. Wow, that one's a weird one. I don't even know where I'm starting, Boogie, with you, because you're the closest one to me. We've talked so much about them coming out of the East, but are we still feeling that way?
I mean, obviously, with everything that's going on with this team right now, it isn't great signs of them, you know, being the team to come out of the East as of right now. But the biggest thing with the East, as far as this season, is consistency. And they've been, up until this point, probably the most consistent team in the East. But, you know, I think a lot of their issues are starting to come, you know, to a head at this point. Obviously, I've been on record saying I'm not a fan of the small guard being the lead guard for a championship team. So obviously that's a glaring issue. I do think they still need another scoring punch. And also just figuring out the style of play as far as how do you want to use Karl Anthony Towns with this team. So, and also just, you know, really using his strengths to help this team improve. So I think it's a few glaring issues when it comes to this team. You know, to sit here and say which one is the most important as of right now, you know, I think, you know, to each his own. I think it's a coach's perspective, it's a fan's perspective. But with all that being said, they have some glaring issues, and they also got to figure out this roster moving forward.
Yeah, I still think they're competitive in the East. I still think they'll be there in the you know, the Eastern Conference semis or the Eastern Conference Finals. I do. I think they're that talented enough. They're getting some production from their bench, more so than with Tibbs teams. You've seen flashes from Clarkson, Shamet, Kolek. Like they're getting stuff from their bench. It's just not enough. And certain times I watch this team, and Cat just looks so disengaged. They have to figure out a way to get him, I don't want to say motivated, but more aggressive, more dominating. And same thing with Bridges. And I know what it's like. They're playing with Jalen Brunson, who is phenomenal. He's one of the greatest Knicks already of all time. But when you have a guy with that much ISO and that much usage rate, it just kind of bogs down the offense and kind of creates frustration within that team. And again, Jalen Brunson's a great dude. I think people love playing with him, playing, you know, as a guy in the locker room. I just think that when the ball gets sticky like that, it kind of gets a little frustrating for the offense. So, which is crazy, too, because their offense early on was so elite. And they just looked so good, you know, 16, 17 games ago in the NBA Cup. But they just got to find a way to be more consistent because they have the talent. And now all of a sudden they have the depth, but it's still not enough. Like, it's a very confusing team so far.
So here's what I find fascinating about this, because they have not had a stretch like this since 1920. That was under Fizz, shout out Fizz. And then you get rid of Tibbs, and shout out Tibbs. A lot of people didn't like that. Now you got Mike Brown, and people love Mike Brown, but here we are. Shout out Mike Brown. These are 3 people that I actually genuinely like. However, there was a lot of crying and whining and fussing about all of the changes that were being made, whether you were for or against the firing of Thibodeau. I don't, you know, I'm not sure, Lou, how we're supposed to feel about this right now with Mike Brown. Is this a coaching thing? Is this just a moment?
Yeah, don't panic. Like, it's a lot of basketball to be played, right? Like, we're not even at the halfway point yet, and we're ready to throw out everything, you know, when it comes to Mike Brown. Like, there will be an adjustment period, especially if you're trying to change the style of play and the identity of play, and you're bringing in a system that you want to constitute to make y'all play better basketball. You know, we're looking at a basketball team that plays a lot of ISO basketball, and they don't guard at the same clip. You know, you look at all of the defensive ratings and the offensive ratings, like, you know, the guys were talking about Cat, right? They have to find a way, Mike Brown has to find a way to get him more aggressive. Half of his shot attempts usually are 3-pointers, deep 3-pointers. And this is your 5. Now, he's one of the best big shooting men in the league. He's self-proclaimed, I'm the best big that can shoot the basketball, but Nobody can stop Cat when he puts the ball on the floor. Nobody stops him when he puts his back to the basket. Nobody stops him when he's 10 feet from the basket. But he's living and dying from the three-point line. And then you have Jalen Brunson, who's also an aggressive guard that likes to post up, that likes to play ISO basketball. And so outside of those two guys, you don't necessarily have the identity of an ISO basketball team. So if you're not making shots and you don't have the ability to make shots and put pressure on teams on the offensive end, it looks like it's leading to them playing bad defense, straight line drives, allowing teams to get into the paint. And any team that's going to allow a team to get to their paint and kick the ball out for threes or just lay the basketball up, it's going to be hard for them to beat anybody. So collectively, I think they have a lot of things that they need to adjust, that they need to fix. But I don't think you panic right now if you're New York. Look, 8 out of 10 in your last 10 are losses. That's not something that you want to see, but you're also still in third. That's also still something to be motivated by. You're still 1 game out of 2.
Yeah.
You're a half game out of 4. Like, you're still in the mix. You want to play better basketball, but the 2 teams before them are just in a roll right now, and they look crazy not being one of those teams right now, to me.
It's crazy when you look at the team rating. They're the 4th-rated offense still after this 10-game stretch. This third slowest pace. Like, they're playing slow. They're turning the ball over. They're not moving the basketball and making the next extra pass because there's a lot of ISO and a lot of heavy one-on-one.
Just one pass,
a lot of heavy
shot.
pick and roll. Exactly. It's almost like just take turns offense, and that there's not a lot of history there with success. So when you look the 4th offense and I think the 18th rated defense, I would feel like those would be switched. Like with OG and Bridges and Josh Hart, those guys that can switch 1 through 5. No matter what's happening on the offensive end, they need to be a much better defensive team as well.
Think about this when you have a team like this with an identity of we're just going to rely on our guys to make shots, right? The last 5 minutes of a game in ISO, and you know that's not going to work. The ball never moves side to side.
Right.
It never goes side to side. They never get into a set where the ball is moving or ATO, something that can get them moving. Instead, they just continue to play ISO basketball. And looking at the teams that they played recently, the Phoenix, the Warriors, you can't beat teams like that. Oh. They're going to make you play on both ends of the floor, especially with the offensive identity that those groups have. And so when you have that and you don't match it, it's a recipe for disaster for New York, and that's what's been happening to me.
It's kind of crazy. You listed all those things. There's also 2 games away from being a play-in team. Like, that's just how wonky everything is.
They are lucky that Eastern Conference is not that deep.
No, it's a little bit nuts,
and
actually.
they should be lucky that it's early as well.
Yeah.
If you're going to struggle, if you're going to go through adversity, this is the time to do it.
I mean, it depends. Are we half full or half empty? Because we are halfway. Like, is that how we're looking at it?
I'm half.
If I'm in third place, I'm half full.
I'm half full.
Okay.
Just looking at the big picture of the Eastern Conference, I truly think I can compete against the Pistons and the Celtics in a 7-game series. Now I have to work to do, and I have to show how I can be more consistent on both ends of the floor. But every team behind us, 4 through 15, I truly think the Knicks are better than, and I know they believe that as well. And they've shown flashes of greatness. They got to get Cat going first and foremost.
How are we still saying that?
How are we?
Yeah, how are you halfway through the season still saying you have to get a player going?
All I remember is his comments.
He's a max player.
His comments during training camp was, I don't know his role.
Right off the bat.
Then his numbers go down. But then he's had big games. So this has kind of been just like a roller coaster for him. And again, he is too talented to have this kind of inconsistency.
But I think that also goes into their playing style. We keep talking about ISO basketball. If your identity as a team is ISO basketball, then your teammates, outside of the guy that always has the ball in his hands, your teammates are going to have up and down games because you're playing ISO basketball. He doesn't know when to expect to get his shots. He doesn't know where his spots are on the floor. So it makes sense. I think, and I've been saying it all.
Do you think
it's a playing style situation?
This is a playing style situation, or this is a Cat situation?
I think it's a playing style situation. So obviously, your best player is Jalen Brunson.
Correct.
Obviously, you need the ball in his
hand. He's one of the best ISO players in the game.
So but you're not going to win games with an unathletic, undersized ISO guard that only finds shots for himself and not for others.
So it's like
I think he's averaging
But
a
is
little
that not
under
what you
5 assists.
knew what you were getting when you brought Mike Brown over? Or maybe they didn't know that's what they were
That may be true, but it's
getting?
still a playing style that has to be addressed because, yeah, you have one part of the puzzle piece playing at a high level.
Sure.
What about everybody else in the puzzle piece?
So it's the same conversation we have about Luka and James Harden. Now, can you win a championship with Jalen Brunson playing this way?
I think this question has already been answered 1,000 times.
No.
I think we've seen it 1,000 times. ISO basketball isn't winning you games.
Yeah.
I take that back. ISO basketball will win you games. It won't win you a championship.
Yeah. Well, also they play so slow. You said what, the third slowest pace too, so they get in the half court, and especially in the playoffs too, where they're going to take away everything you do best. So now all of a sudden they're blitzing Jalen Brunson, and now they're trapping him at half court. Or have you seen even this last week they're double teaming Cat in the post, and he's making horrific turnovers, and then the fans are getting frustrated, and the fans are getting more. I feel like the fans are frustrated with Mike Brown and Cat, and I don't know who they're more frustrated with. I think it's probably Cat because he's on the floor playing, but I just feel like Cat's going to be the scapegoat in the situation.
Okay, so wait, because I've seen this movie called Julius Randle before, so I'm wondering how does that play out with Cat? Is he going to be? Are we moving him? I mean, he's owed a lot of money.
I think they're on the phone with the Bucks right now.
Wait, really?
I think if you're what do you guys think? Do you think the Knicks right now after this 10-game skid? Do they say, okay, I'll give you
But
Cat.
they're third in the West.
I'll give you Cat.
That's the thing. They are third in the West.
I'm about to say that's the problem is they still have a certain level of success right now.
Yeah.
So
if you look ahead, do you really think they're better than Boston and Detroit when
I think they have a chance.
But again, when you're in the conversation, it's only one way to know. Yeah. We got to line it up in a 7-game series.
If you're a GM, you have to figure this out now.
But if I'm the GM and I'm sitting in third place and I don't see a huge separation between 1, 2, and myself, I'm not panicking. Even though I'm in a bad stretch right now, everybody is going to have some adversity.
Absolutely.
So that's what I'm saying. Everybody is going to go through something this season. So if I'm going to go through it, this is the time to go through it. That's why everybody's frustrated with Mike Brown. Why are you laughing? Why are you smiling? Because if I'm going to go through some turbulence, I want it to be before the All-Star break where I can make adjustments. Or we might be able to bring a guy in here or there. I can tinker some things or I can figure it out. Like, you don't want to have this problem in February, March, going into the dog days of the season. You want to have those issues now. So I still think it's salvageable right now.
I want to know what okay, so 57 and 61. Those are the next 2 seasons owed to Cat. Nice. Anyone here thinks he finishes that in a Knicks uniform? Boogie?
I think this is a make or break year. I don't think anything is done as of right now as far as them, making a big splash with their team. But, when the offseason does come around, I do think those conversations will be had. And obviously the name that's being attached to this Knicks team is Giannis, and rightfully so. If any team has the opportunity to get a player like Giannis, I think at minimum they'll have a conversation about it. They'll consider it. So, I think this is a make or break year, and I definitely think, if it goes wrong for this Knicks team, this is a real conversation.
And the Bucks team, because talk about perfect time. They've lost 3 in a row. Like, they're also falling apart.
That's what I'm saying.
Time.
They're right in the mix with everybody else.
It's kind of the perfect storm right now.
I think the only thing, like Lou basically just touched on, that's going to keep the Knicks in a standstill is the hope that they can still get out of the Eastern Conference. Like, I swear, they think they're better than the Pistons. They think they are better than the Celtics.
Are they?
They have enough talent, and
Tatum's coming.
And so, like, I do think there's no reason to panic here. But you start looking at a dude that's 30 years old making that much money. I think they're answering calls for sure, but I don't think they're in panic mode just yet.
I'm a game and a half out of 2, and I'm a game out of 4. I'm not panicking.
But you're 2 out of the play.
You're also 2 out of 8.
Yeah, but listen,
crazy.
So you asked the question, do you look at the cup half full or half empty?
I'm a half empty.
I'm not looking that way. I'm trying to get to 2. And even though I'm 8 and 10 and I'm still where I am and I'm still a game away from second, if I'm the coach or if I'm in this locker room as a player, hey, bro, we in a bad stretch right now, but we still in the conversation.
So, like, I don't want to be a dead horse on the
That's how I
Giannis,
look
on
at
the
it.
Giannis
You always
thing,
say
though.
that.
But so Cat and OG and a couple picks, who says no, Bucks or Knicks?
Nobody. Well, yes.
I don't
the
think they
Bucks.
give up. I don't think they give
You
up.
think they want more?
Correct. For Giannis.
I don't think the Knicks give up.
Whoa. Oh. Okay.
Really?
I mean, I wouldn't want to.
I would think more of a Mikal Bridges.
Damn, that was
honestly.
expensive. That was an expensive turnaround. All right, fair enough. Well, look, everyone seems to be having weird times at the worst time or best time. Market 1 to market 2, Lakers, Europe, also struggling a little bit. Seems a little make-ish, break-ish right now. They've lost 10 of their last 15. 15 of their 16 losses have been by double digits over the course of the season. All right, Chandler, I'm going to start with you on this one. As assembled, is this just going to be another disappointing ending to a season?
See, they're in almost the opposite situation as the Knicks. They're a talented team. They're going to win a lot of games, but the West is so good. There's no real light at the end of the tunnel for them. Like, the Knicks still have hope that we can get to the finals. Anything can happen. The Lakers, they got to go through OKC, San Antonio, Houston, Denver. Like Phoenix is tied for they have so many teams ahead of them right now where it's tough. Now they have enough talent. They've been banged up. They can look at injuries. We all know that the defensive pieces that they're looking at right now at the trade deadline. So there is ways to better their team. Austin Reeves will be back at some point, but it's probably destined to another disappointing season, just the way that this season's panned out, all the injuries they've been through, their lack of depth, the way they play too. It's very similar to the Knicks, where it's a lot of heavy ISO, it's a lot of ball dominating by one guy, and it's kind of just stand still around, and there's no flow really to their offense. So again, I don't want to panic even if I'm them, because they do have a lot, and they have Luka, and they have LeBron James, and they have Austin Reeves, but they need some help. And if they don't make a move at the deadline to at least get a spark going towards the end of the season, I think they're cooked.
I just think they are what they are. I don't, I'm looking at the Western Conference. I don't think they're better than the teams that's ahead of them.
They aren't.
So are they destined for another disappointing season? It depends on what your goals were. If you were realistic with your goals and understood what the landscape of the Western Conference is, maybe not. But if you feel like you have championship aspirations and I'm better than the Spurs and I'm better than OKC, you're going to fall flat with the roster that you have.
Like, is a first round exit to the Nuggets a disappointing season?
Is it a real disappointing season?
Or is it what we thought was going to happen?
Or is that what's supposed to happen? Yeah.
Like, is it what Chandler just said?
Yeah.
If it started today, the Denver Nuggets would be your matchup. If you lose to Jokic and company, is that really a disappointing season?
No, I think we'd all expect
so
that.
You got to manage expectation level. Like, I get it. The Lakers are a championship town team, and you better believe they're going to be active at the trade deadline to put them in that conversation. But as it stands, I think their record reflects who they are as a basketball team. They're right there in the middle.
Yeah, I think the Lakers are in a worse situation than the Knicks, and the reason I say that is, one, they're stuck in this place of trying to figure out what are they doing currently as a team, and what are they doing moving forward as a team. And it's a lot of glaring questions as far as, who stays, who leaves, what's great for the organization moving forward, what's not. So that's their own, that's one thing. And obviously, currently where they are as a team, they're just horrible defensively. Like, you're not winning a championship in this league without a top-level defense. So with all those issues on top of the biggest issue, which is just being a part of the Western Conference, I feel like if this team was in the East, they would have a legit chance to come out. Yeah. But, the West being as dominant and as rough as it is this year, it's just hard for this team to, be listed above those, the Denvers, the Spurs, the OKCs of the world. So, as far as this Lakers team moving forward, they have roster issues that they just have to figure out, not only for this season, but moving forward. And like I said, with no defense, it's no chance.
Yeah, it's crazy because Pelinka makes the big trade for Luka, which I think there's no doubt they won that trade, especially now given AD circumstances. But now they have even more decisions to make. Do they pay Austin Reeves? Do they shop Austin Reeves? What's LeBron's future? Do we make a move right now to try and go get a Herb Jones type player to better our team? But we also have a fan base with expectation where we have to stay competitive. And right now they're competitive.
How do you know they won the trade? Like, what exactly does that mean? Because wouldn't the assumption mean you won because you're going to win championships now? Like, not the whole point of this whole game?
Well, they have a guy leading the league in scoring, and the other team has a guy
being in a
that's
better
not playing.
position than you were in before you made the trade.
And they got a guy leading the league in scoring, and the other team got a guy that's now.
Are they in a better position?
Are they in a better position
than they were before? I feel like they're the same team.
They're in a better position.
They were positioned than the team
than Dallas.
Than Dallas.
But they were.
I'm talking about as the Lakers were before they made the trade, and the Lakers who they are now.
Well, yeah, because I think
I think
they have Luka going forward instead of Anthony Davis.
But what does that mean?
But they're literally the same team.
It means the guy healthy leading the NBA in scoring.
I think
we have a guy that leads the league in scoring.
on two different timelines.
Well, I'm just saying, the guy literally.
It's still a middle-of-the-pack team.
You're saying long term, you feel like they're in a better position.
Yeah.
Boogie is saying right now, they're not in a better position. And both things are fair to say. Y'all are saying the same thing.
I don't know that you can say long term they're going to be in a better position just because you have a guy that leads the league in scoring.
And the other guy that they traded for is not available.
But if the teams themselves are just, okay, cool, you guys are both hanging out right there in the middle, who won what?
But it's also a lot of questions to be answered.
Exactly.
How do you move forward post LeBron James? How do you build a
Which
team?
we can't even do that yet.
Exactly. So, you still have a Hall of Fame player in uniform until you figure that out. this is what the team is.
So I'm saying I thought that trade was the big move. They have so many more moves to make.
It's like it just feels like nothing was done, yet everything was done.
But that's consistent with the Lakers. The Lakers are
nuts.
always in the business of trying to get better and trying to move players around. That's what they are.
What's more likely, Lou, play-in or Western Conference Finals for this Lakers squad? By the way, if we're talking on the other side, this one's half.
Play-in. They have the same record with the Suns right now that is currently in the play-in.
Don't yell at me. It was just a question I'm asking Lou.
Why haven't you answered it? No, do you have a different answer?
I listen, because I really believe that when you have a team with Luka and LeBron James on it, at some point something is going to click in. And I also understand how veteran teams work sometimes, especially when one of your better players is in his 40s. Like, this is cruise control until you get there. This is me being optimistic and just understanding how this thing works from time to time. I could be extremely wrong.
So finals or play-in, Lou?
Question.
Closer? I think they're a playoff team. I don't think they're a play-in team.
Okay,
well,
hold
get
on
me
a
on
second.
no gotcha stuff. So
but here's why.
try another angle.
You did say everyone ahead of the Lakers you think is better than the Lakers. Cool. Now let's go look at the Suns and the Warriors.
I think there is a huge gap between a play-in and the Western Conference Finals. I think they're a playoff team. I don't think they're a play-in team or a title team. I think they're a playoff
half
team.
from the play-in, and the other two teams are also winning.
I think they are a play-in team that gets the 7 or 8 seed and then gets smoked by the 1 or 2 seed. That's who I think they are. You think they're a top? You think they're better?
No, they don't guard.
I've already said it. I think they're a middle of the pack team.
So they're gonna,
and that's a huge gap between a play-in team and a
middle of the pack.
That's different. That's a different
middle's 4 or 5.
I think they're a 5, 6 seed.
That's not middle of the pack. Middle of the pack is 7, 8 out of 15.
6, 7.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Hold on. You guys mean to tell me you think they're going to go to the Western Conference Finals?
No, I never said
more
that.
More so than stay right where they are, which is playing?
They're a game out of 4 where they've been sitting 3 or 4 all season.
But the question,
so
you're not answering the question.
I am going to answer the question. But who have they shown me more consistently? They've been a 3 or 4 team more consistently than they've been a play-in team. When have they been a play-in team all season?
Right now?
They're not. They're a 6 seed right now.
I know, but the 6, 7, 8 seeds are both all or 3 are just right there.
Are they a play-in team today? Have they been a play-in team all season?
No.
Okay, so what I'm saying is
they are on their way.
But where they are,
if they lose tonight, they're a play-in team.
Right, but for 3 months they haven't been. Right. They've been a 3 or 4 seed.
I just think also the West is so good. That is a big hurdle for them. Like
I think it's more so about the West.
It's more of the conference than there is. Like Boogie said earlier, if they were in the East,
this would be a different conversation.
Listen, first of all, that's a wide range question.
That's a hypothetical.
Play-in or a title contender. Like, no, they can be actually who they are. They could be a playoff team that may lose in the first round.
Well, that's why Thunder versus the Field was always a dumb question. That's why I don't like these weird-ass questions. I didn't make it up. Conrad, that's on you. How about this? Because you got Lakers fans, but you also have LeBron fans, and those are not necessarily the same groups of people. So LeBron fans starting to hit a wall, and here's why. They're basically saying that the Lakers have actually floundered the end of LeBron's career. Went from making the finals 8 straight years to 1 finals appearance in the 7 years that he's been here. Why don't we throw up a little graphic here that's going to make everything make a lot more sense? And I know that when Boogie Cousins saw this earlier, he was a little bit taken aback, because that's pretty dramatic. We'll just jump down. First round exits the last 2 seasons, swept in the Western Conference Finals a few years ago. First of all, your reaction to that, Boogie, were you shocked? Had we just not been paying attention? Like, how do we feel? Because it kind of.
I wouldn't say shocked. It just, it kind of brought a little more awareness to, the situation of his career in LA. So obviously he won a title, 1920. But for the rest of the time, it just hasn't really shown where, he's been put in.
That's what I'm saying, that old.
Yeah, he's been put in the best situations. So, when you think about LeBron James, it should never be where he doesn't make the playoffs. You know what I mean? So, and it's hard for me to sit there and put that blame on LeBron. But to answer the question, do I feel like he finishes his career in LA? I don't. My gut tells me he finishes in Cleveland, and I think it just makes sense.
That's just
that's where the story starts.
It's kind of corny, though, no?
No, I think it's great. You know, that's where his story starts. Obviously, that's where he's from. I think that'll be the first team to hang his jersey up, obviously. So it just makes sense for him to end his career in Cleveland.
Does the championship outweigh the no playoffs twice and the first round exits, and also the bittersweet of making the Western Conference Finals and then getting swept? Does that all does that lessen it?
Who are you asking? Because I was asking you.
So
what do you think?
We're going to be interviewing you today. That's my question. Again, when I think winning one championship in 10 years, that is a huge accomplishment.
But not if you're a fan of LeBron James.
But if you're considered,
else.
exactly, and there's expectations again for LeBron James, there's expectations for the Lakers. But when you look at no playoffs 2 of those 7 years and first round exits 3 of those 7 years, that's tough. That's tough. And again, they had the one Western Conference Final and then the bubble championship, which a lot of people, like Beadle, I think there's an asterisk by it. I do not.
It's the
best basketball we've ever seen.
It's a championship in 7 years, so it's hard to look at that like a failure because at the end of the day, they got a championship. So I think.
By the way, I never said it's not a championship. It's just a half a championship. Like, I've never said it doesn't count. There's a banner.
Does
Best basketball we ever seen.
The Spurs lockout year count?
Yeah, asterisk for a lot of people on that one too.
What about you?
Sure, because we had other ones that also count as full.
So do they, Beadle.
So I'll take it.
I'm holding Beadle to the fire today. I ain't going today.
I'm fine with it, by the way. No, by the way, this was part of the big. When LeBron decided to come and be a Laker, right? There were people that were very much split that will never accept him as a Laker, and then there are LeBron fans that are diehards to the end. So I think it's interesting that Boogie thinks he finishes in Cleveland. Do you guys agree? Like
I said that last year that I like the Cleveland idea just because again that's a good story. It's where he started
movie.
exactly.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
It makes sense, but. It's when you look at this Laker playoff history with LeBron, like is he one of the greatest Lakers of all time with this resume? No. So that's why I think when they thought it'd be much better than I guess what it is.
I think we forget how that story started though. When he went to the Lakers, they weren't competing for championships at that time. I thought that was very much a business move. Or
nobody even wanted to come to the Lakers.
It went no playoffs to a chip. That's crazy.
So I think we forget how that story even started. So, you know, fans can feel how they feel about it. I think you got what you wanted out of it. You did get a championship out of it. Now, did you have a perennial playoff successful team? No, absolutely not. But you got a chip out of it. And we didn't even see that coming.
And that's exactly why I said what I said. When I look at this, it just brings a lot more awareness to the situation. I'll never be with LeBron's history, I'll never be able to sit here and look at this and be like, this is LeBron's fault. I just don't think, outside of winning a championship that 2020 season, I don't really feel like he was put in a position to be successful with the Lakers.
But wasn't there a time when we all thought that he was sort of pulling the strings as to like when things were getting?
No, kind of, but like even like this year, add 25, 26
Some
first
of these
round
conversations
exit.
we talking about year like 17, 18.
I agree. Also, there's that. The calendar is also playing against LeBron.
You know, this isn't 25-year-old LeBron.
When you see when we add one more graphic to that and it's 25, 26 and it says first round exit again, is that LeBron's fault?
It's everyone's fault.
So no, I don't think.
But who are you going to blame? The front office? They brought you Luka. I thought that was supposed to change the way we looked at the world.
You definitely blame the front office.
Can I ask you guys a question?
They won the championship in 20 and he traded the whole team.
Can I ask you guys a question? Do we hold the Washington Wizards years against Michael Jordan?
No.
No, we go to the glory days. So listen, if you're afforded the fact that you can go 22 decades
well, based on that,
into
MJ's the best.
No, but I'm saying if you go 2 decades into your career, it's like what are we even criticizing?
I'll tell you what we're criticizing. You are just trying to put the Wizards in the same sentence as the Los Angeles freaking Lakers.
No, I love the fact that LeBron James still has a certain level of people wanting to see him do good or bad. Like,
heck yeah.
Yeah, when we saw Michael Jordan in a Washington Wizards uniform, we were just happy to see him hoop.
I don't think everybody was. I mean, we could have a guest on again this week.
He's 41 years old, and we're still like expecting him to like carry a championship.
Exactly.
Okay, we can't have it both ways. You cannot praise him because he's continuing to play at a certain age, but then when all of a sudden times get tough, you're like, well, but he is really old.
I just think expectations
I think it's more about the expectations.
Man, I'm sick of you young people and your LeBron love.
Like you expect a 41-year-old to carry a team to the championship?
If you're getting paid to do it, yes, we do actually. I'm not angry. We're gonna take a quick break. On the other side, let's talk some All-Stars, some happy stuff. We'll be right back.
Run it up, run it back, run it up, run it back.
I mean, they are still yelling at each other about the Lakers, y'all. I wish I could say. Guess what? All-Star starters, 2 Eastern today, but that doesn't mean we can't try to figure out who we think it's going to be. So we got the East up first, and we're going to start with My favorite team out of the East, the Pistons and Cade Cunningham.
That was breaking
Thoughts
news.
on that one right there?
Lock. I think we need to talk about this guy more. MVP talks. 26, 10, 6, 46% from the field. He's one of the game's best closers. They play every team tight because the way they defend and how tough they are. And at the end of the game, they literally give this dude the ball, let him rock. He is a lock starting point guard on the Eastern Conference All-Star team.
Okay, that's a lock.
By the way, the East is kind of obvious, I think, this year.
You think? I don't know. Well, hold on.
Obviously, Cade is the head of this Pistons team. Mature beyond his years. Obviously his numbers are impressive, but the most impressive for me is almost 10 assists a game. This is going along with also 26 points a game. I think he's a complete player, a leader on the floor, a real point guard on the floor, gets his guys involved, makes the guys around him better. I don't think it's a player in this league that wouldn't jump at the opportunity to play with Cade Cunningham.
So lock. Okay, we got one lock.
Easy money.
All right.
He's the best player on the best team in the conference.
Okay, so that one's easy. Then why don't we go next? Jalen Brunson. Lou, talk to me about this guy. Lock or not?
Absolute lock.
Lock.
Absolute lock. If it ain't Cade Cunningham, it's going to be Jalen Brunson as the best point guards in the Eastern Conference. He's obviously the anchor to what the New York Knicks are doing and how they're playing. Not in the best run right now, but they've been a consistent over the last few years, and that's on the back of Jalen Brunson. I like the fact of how he leads, how he plays. His assists is up. Field goal percentage is up. This is an absolute lock for me.
Yeah, 28, 6, 3, consistent, tough. Again, another great closer in the league, clutch player of the year. In previous years, and again, they're going through a tough stretch right now. But through the consistency all season long, what he's done, the NBA Cup games, he's been the best player for the Knicks all year long. And again, they are a 3 seed. They're going to get rewarded a starter, and it's going to be Jalen Brunson.
Bad boy right here, Jalen Brunson. Obviously, he's going to go up in the rafters as being one of the greatest Knicks ever.
As a champion?
Are they champions?
No, as a champion, will he go up in the
Doubt it. But individually, he'll be up in the rafters. I am a fan of Brunson. I think he's having an incredible year. He's only piggybacking off of the recent years he's had with the past current season. So well-deserving. I think he'll continue to dominate this season, continue to show, he's if not one, the second best guard in the East. Well-deserved.
All right, Jaylen Brown. It's almost as if he's reintroduced himself to some folks this season.
Yes, he has.
And was much needed.
Yep.
There was so much doubt and talk around this Boston Celtics team. And Jaylen Brown stepped up and put him on his back, and he's put them in a position to be talked about in the Eastern Conference. And he made a case. He was upset about not being Eastern Conference Player of the Month. I will make a case to say he's probably playing the best basketball of anybody in the entire league right now with what he's been able to do over the past 60 days. This is an absolute lock.
Lock. And again, with all the turnover in Boston, when you lose Holiday, when you lose Porzingis, when Jason Tatum goes out, there was low expectation for this team. They started off a little shaky. Now they've gone on a huge run.
No expectation.
They're a 2 seed. It's all because of this dude right here.
Kind of awesome.
Jaylen Brown. He's been extremely hot in December and continued to be consistent. He's a lock.
And we can put a lot of the conversation to bed now. Him being able to show how good he is on a solo mission should put everything into perspective, how successful the Boston Celtics have been with and without Jason Tatum in that lineup.
Yeah, and I think Jay Kidd tried to kind of stir the pot with who's the best player, who's what option it is. And obviously Jason Tatum went down. You never want to see that. But even when Tatum's back.
And we haven't heard that conversation since Jason Kidd as well.
No,
that's true.
Well,
great Jedi mind trick.
whatever it takes, man. Boogie, you're up next, because this dude's going through it. It's a little spicy right now for Giannis and his team and the fans. But lock?
Absolutely.
That's a good team.
This is Giannis. Regardless of the circumstances going on in Milwaukee, this is still Giannis. He's the premier player in this league, one of the faces of the league, one of the most dominant to ever lace up his sneakers. This is an obvious lock. I think his situation will eventually get figured out, but it's not stopping him from being an all-star. So, lock.
Yeah, I agree. And again, he's still going to be one of the better players in the NBA. And no matter what team he's on, no matter how many wins and losses, he's still going to put up insane numbers. He's still going to be that dominating physical force. So It's not position either this year, right? It's just 5 guys, so he's going to be the starting center, and he's more than capable of doing that.
Not to take us off a subject, but does Toronto not even get a look for a guy, or we have somebody coming off
as
the
a
bench?
starter?
You guys, there are reserves still too, but you guys,
Brandon Ingram would be.
you guys picked this, I thought. Isn't that what we did here? Because we got a 5th guy on here, and now
And it ain't a Raptor.
It's not. It's Donovan Mitchell. Now I think it's where it gets a little interesting.
Well,
Lou.
Brandon Ingram's averaging 21 and 6 and 4, and again they're the surprise team.
There's also a guy in Philly that's not doing horrible
Yeah,
things.
Tyrese
either.
Maxey's averaging 30. He could have been the other one I thought.
Yeah, that's the only conversation I wanted to have. I brought up Toronto because of just records, but
Sure.
I had a slip of my mind. Yeah, they won't get a starter. They have a guy on the reserves. But Tyrese Maxey is somebody that we could have made a conversation for. But Donovan Mitchell has been great for the Cleveland Cavaliers in the way that they've played. But I can make the same case for Tyrese Maxey.
And Donovan Mitchell, again, there were such high expectations for this team. They brought the same team back. They had a historic start last year, and he's kind of been that consistent piece through the ups and the downs of this tough season. So I do think he gets the nod, but you could easily go Tyrese Maxey here. You could easily go Brandon Ingram here and reward winning. Like it all changes. I feel like year to year, but I'm okay with this pick too.
All right.
And these are our guesses, by the way.
These are the guesses. They'll
But usually we're right
hours,
here.
the legit.
Yeah,
We're usually pretty spot on here.
I'm not mad at a Maxey consideration either. Either one of these guys could have been in this,
Head
and
your
I would have
bets,
been
guys.
okay with it.
Head your
Who's the
bets.
bench is what I want.
Well, we're not doing the bench.
Well, obviously Tyrese Maxey.
That's not today. We're going to take a quick break. We still got to do the West. That's the team for the East. It's not a bad-looking team.
It's a good team.
West is next.
Run it up, run it back.
So the West will also have their starters, and this is as chosen by you guys.
By the
We're going to
Bullets.
start because we'll find out later this afternoon. Luka Doncic. You guys all agreed a lock on that one. Chandler, you're his biggest fan, so.
I don't know if I'm his biggest fan, but I mean, 34 points a game. Love him, hate him. The guy is unbelievable. He's an all-world talent. I don't care how high his usage rate is. I don't care how high his ISO game is. He's unbelievable. He's unguardable. You have to tailor the whole defense to try and stop this dude. And he's having a great year. Like, look at those numbers. He is MVP talks. He is all NBA first team level. He's a lock to be a starter this year.
Absolute lock. His game speaks for itself. He's a huge talent in this league. Like Chandler said, ISO or not, you know who Luka Doncic is on a nightly basis. So definitely deserving.
Okay, we're going to go to the next
Retweet.
guy. Wait, you don't get to be an MVP if your team's barely playing. But that's a different topic. We'll do that on another day when I really feel spicy. SGA. Lou, easy.
Yeah, without a doubt. This is the reigning MVP of the league, one of the best scorers in the game. His team is still on top of the world. They're looking like they're trending to be a back-to-back championship basketball team.
Ooh.
We don't really have to make a big case for SGA to be an all-star starter.
Imagine someone out there's like, I don't know. I don't know if he's a guy.
Nobody will disagree with
They
this.
should watch another sport.
Right?
That's why I didn't have much to say about Luka. Like, some of these guys are
That one's
locked.
easy. That one's
Pretty
easy.
easy. That's a lock.
All right, so let's move on. Ant had himself a nice little weekend. Chandler?
I mean, yeah, there's no doubt about it. He's one of the better two-way players in the league. The Minnesota Timberwolves, they play so hard and so good on both sides of the floor, and it's because of him. 35-4. Again, he's must-watch TV. He's probably the most exciting player in the league to watch, and they're currently in the 4th seed right now. So their team is winning, and it's a huge part of what he's doing. So, again, I don't want to say a lock on this one, but
You don't want to lock it?
Stop it.
the other
Talk
two,
to me.
the other two we're gonna get. Our locks, and
Okay.
the other two we've said are locks. This is the only one I'm not 100% positive
Stop.
What did I miss? Opposed to who?
Yeah.
Who would you put in front of him?
on. Kevin Durant.
Stop.
But I'm saying again, it's deserving. He's going to make the All-Star game, and he's probably going to be a starter. But the only one I'd put ahead of him would be Kevin Durant.
This is interesting.
Kevin
though.
Durant
We haven't.
It's Luka, it's SGA, it's
I'm
Wemby,
putting
it's
Kevin Durant
Jokic.
in over Wemby. If that's the case.
Excuse me? What?
We're talking about a guy that's
You're
coming off
nuts.
the bench on minute restriction and has missed.
Coming off the bench. Are we really doing this?
He's sixth man of the year, though,
Stop
baby.
it.
Wemby
He is
He's
sixth man of the
missed
year.
a significant amount of time.
Man, I can't
I'm
do
not
this shit right
saying
now.
I'm not saying anybody's better. I'm basing it off how
You
the season
literally
is
just
going.
said someone's better.
I didn't say that.
What?
I said he's coming off the bench. He's on minute restrictions, and he also missed.
Kevin
a
Durant is
significant amount of time.
26, 5 and 5, shooting 51 from the field and 40
And
from 3.
what's
Yeah.
Wemby?
not that.
He's 25, 11, 3, and 52% from the field. But by all means, let's not talk about Wemby as a lock.
I'm telling you, Jokic and Wemby and SGA and Luka are locks. This would be the only, maybe not a lock.
You have to, no, Anthony Edwards is a lock.
And Kevin Durant would be the only guy I'd put in ahead of Anthony Edwards. That's all I'm saying.
I know, but he's
like
saying you put him in ahead of Wemby.
I said, if I had to consider it, that would be the only one. I'm not taking Anthony Edwards out. The only one I would consider is Wemby. And I just told you why. It's simply based off the circumstances. It's not because he's a lesser player. It's not because Kevin Durant is a better player. It's based off the circumstances.
Can Kawhi Leonard get a little love?
No.
Well, I mean...
Starting?
Not
no.
Starting. Lou, are you moving Ant? You moving Wemby if you got to move one? If Durant somehow is a starter...
I like the case that Boogie made. Now, I personally... You gotta listen to me.
I don't like listening at all.
Give it a Lou.
No, I like the case that Boogie presented. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think Wemby is the guy that the league is hedging all of their bets on. He's definitely
He's
definitely gonna be an
Absolutely.
all-star. He's definitely gonna be an all-star starter. But I like the case that Boogie made.
I'll tell you this, West by the spread will be 15.5 West.
Well, yes, if it was constructed as this. But remember, the world will step in.
Do we even have to finish the rest of the team?
Well, yeah, so we got Wemby and then we got Jokic. I feel like that's a...
Again, I think Wemby is going to get in. First of all, his numbers are great. Yes, he's gone through injuries. Yes, he's coming off the bench.
Coming off the bench.
The impact that
Y'all did it.
No, I mean, I don't hate it.
Y'all did it.
Should we start the Wemby for 6th man of the year?
Wemby for 6 man.
Well, did we not say that like a week and a half ago?
MVP 6 man.
Yeah.
He's everything.
The way he changes the game for this young team, how good he is offensively and defensively, he's got to be a
He
star.
shaved his head, man. He's terrifying now.
And it looks great.
I know,
Is
of
he?
course
He looks nicer to me.
nicer and
He
like
looks
peaceful
sweet.
to me, yeah, he looks like-
That's what's dangerous.
That's what the monks want you to think.
His stats are so good, they don't even have the 3 blocks up there on
Yeah,
his
there's
line.
not enough room in our...
Put the 3 blocks up there. Take the assist
Yeah, who
away.
cares about his assist?
we don't
This has
care.
nothing to do with Wemby's numbers. It's simply about how they're managing him this season. We all know Wemby is great. He has the chance to be the greatest to ever touch a basketball. But speaking on the current situation, he's been hurt, he's been coming off the bench, and he's been playing under minute restrictions. That's the only asterisk next to his name as far as being a starter.
Jokic has been hurt. I guess he should probably be on here either then.
Lock.
Oh, wait, what? Number 5?
By the way, is this the fan thing too? Like, is this a lot of this has to do with fan
This
vote?
is
starters?
this is the everything, right? Like the starter.
So, like, technically, Steph Curry could get voted in as a starter.
It's 50%
Absolutely.
is the fan vote.
The
So,
West,
by the way,
the West is dicey.
Everything.
We're debating for no reason.
That's what I'm saying. It could be Steph, it
swear
could
to
be
God,
KD,
fans.
it could be Kawhi, it could be Devin Booker. There's so many
I was
players in
I was
the
gonna
West.
say, it's interesting that we haven't talked about a lot of our legacy acts, the Steph Currys and the Kevin
I think
Durants.
that's a good sign, though.
Yeah, it's a great sign that
Those
a
guys
lot of these
could
young
all
guys
get
are
in.
doing that thing.
And then
I think they all still do get in.
And then think about
I think
the other ones that aren't going to start, but like, we're getting ahead of ourselves. We're doing it tomorrow. But this team is it. By the way, it's going to be
there's worlds.
those 5 or Kevin Durant instead of one of them.
Okay, so the Kevin Durant. By the way, only,
Steph Curry.
I was gonna
Maybe
say
they go
Steph's an
Kevin
interesting-
Durant and then
Curry-
bring Wemby
Steph
off the
Curry.
bench again. That's what
Steph Curry is in this conversation, y'all.
Y'all, no, Lou's right.
Wemby's used to
If
coming
fans
off
is
the
50
bench. Why don't they bring him off the bench?
I ain't going around with y'all.
Guys, it's not even going to look like this because it's going to be the world and 2 U.S. teams.
Oh yeah, Wemby's not even on this
That's
team.
right. So no matter what happens, the world's.
So we got
crushing.
5. We got 5 worlds. We got 5 worlds in the starting lineup of the team.
Organically, that was 5 worlds
Giannis,
without even trying.
SGA,
Correct.
Luka, Wemby, Jokic. So
Yeah,
they
so
only
everyone
get
that's-
3 more.
Everyone that's worried about there not being enough world, there's going to be.
So they only get 3 more too.
Yeah, they get 3. Stop saying they. I'm the they. Remember, I already.
And Jamal Murray and Sengun are in. So they only get 1 more.
Okay, you know what? We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back on the
right.
other side. What's they?
Everyone else.
Okay, then you don't get to cheer at all.
Run it up, run it back.
Guys, there was a little game on Saturday called Timberwolves and
this.
Spurs, and boy, was it fun. 126-123. Spurs survive it. Ant with his career-high 55.
This guy not a starter?
And then
This guy is
Wemby
it?
at 39.
Came off the bench and did that.
And then boom. Thank you. So now do you understand how hard that is?
I will say,
do?
Anthony Edwards goes at everybody. I love that when he saw Wemby, he made it a point to try and go at him and ISO and just show his full display of an offensive package, and it was unbelievable.
Okay, so roll it, because while you're saying this, roll this.
This
like
one move where he spun
forth.
was just insane. The tough shots. It's Wemby then kind of countering and going right back at him.
Oh, what's
Just
that?
this game was awesome.
Also, I need you to stop getting on the ground.
Yeah, he falls a little too much.
Stop
falling.
it.
He falls a little too much.
Heart attacks. Yep. Okay, got you there. Boom. Let's see what I got on the other
This
side.
was awesome.
No I mean, if you paid for this one, you got your money's worth. This was it.
And what is 19 doing in the lane right now? What are you on? There's Wemby in front of you. You 10 feet from him? All right.
That's why we don't know his name right there.
That's why he's 19, one
Number
niner.
19, yeah.
Okay, so can we all agree that part of Ant's greatness is that he does turn it on in the high moments, not just sort of like soft. He's just like one of those dudes that gets up for the show.
I mean, I think that's something that we love about, these type of players, the guys that do, rise to the occasion, that love the spotlight, that love when the lights are the brightest. So, it gives you examples of the Kobe Bryants, the Michael Jordans,
Yes. That's what I love.
that build of player that, no occasion is too much. So it's an obvious reason why Anthony Edwards has so many fans, why he is a fan favorite in this league, and also why he's so dominant in this league. And I mean, this is just a prime example of what I'm saying. He deserves to be, 55 points.
55.
9 for 13 from 3.
He's
a star.
Against the best
Yeah,
defense.
he's one of the young stars that I can look at and you can visually see him getting better, right? Like you kind of have an idea of who a lot of these players are going to be. Ant is still getting better, still adding to his game. That's what I love when I see him play. So like games like this, I want to get used to it. I want to see him throw 55s on everybody's heads because you can see him starting to become a 3-level scorer.
Right.
And what's crazy is as fearless as he is offensively, and you can see that he wants the challenge of going, he's going to try and posterize you. On the other end, he works just as hard, and he's picking you up full court, and he's getting in passing lanes, and he's starting to break for his team, and he does it on both sides, which is contagious, and you rarely see that from your best player, give that type of effort on both sides, and Anthony Edwards does it every single night.
And to Beadle's point, remember when he came in the league, he wanted to challenge Steph Curry. He wanted to challenge Kevin Durant. He wanted to challenge LeBron. Now he wants to challenge Wemby. Like he wants to be, he wants to be considered one of the best of the best. So I love the fact he ain't ducking no smoke. He ain't running from nobody. Every challenge he steps up to the plate and he steps up when the lights are on, like Beadle said.
This is a little off subject, but can we believe that Steve Kerr saw this talent and said, I don't want
There
it?
we go, and there it is.
Can we
a whole show.
Like, is this believable? He saw this talent, evaluated him. It's like, nah, I don't want that.
There was no. I'm looking at the rundown. There's no Steve Kerr on the
I know. I just thought it
rundown.
really. It was a random thought.
It was random.
Yeah, it made no sense.
Fitterbrick on the bald head on Wemby. And by the way, shout out Keldon Johnson, who's getting no love for also having been the first.
Well, you riding the wave, man.
Keldon did it first.
I think it looks great, man.
I think he's lovely.
Oh, Keldon did it first?
Yeah, they did it. It was like a team effort.
Oh, and only 2 of them.
Well, and then some jackals did it.
I feel like this is a mockery because a guy like me, I'm mad every time I have to do this.
Oh, so that's why we hate Wemby over here in my life.
I don't hate
Oh, that's not what I'm hearing.
I don't hate. I just think he's making fun of bald-headed people. I don't think it's cool. So.
And that's where we. By the way, that's where we start the show tomorrow.
Just do that for fun, brother. There's people out here really struggling.
You want us
just
to shave our
doing it
heads,
for fun.
buddy?
Would y'all?
Yeah, why not?
Lou?
And there, Lou's not a team
shave my head.
player.
You know how long it took me
Next
to
show,
grow
we're
these
coming
things?
back bald.
That's tomorrow. So, okay.
See y'all
We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Run it up, then run it back, yeah, yeah.